Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Getafe. After so many days, Barcelona is officially back to their home stadium and we will be hosting Getafe. We are going to be speaking about exactly what Hansi Flick did state during the pre-match press conference, predict the starting 11, and then also talk about Barcelona's next potential goalkeeper signing, which could be Szczesny, who represented Arsenal and Juventus. So all of this is going to be talked about for today's video. I hope you guys do enjoy this one, and so let's get straight to it. So I do feel very enthusiastic about tomorrow's match day. Barcelona for sure will come in against Getafe bringing on a show because the Barcelona fans do deserve it. And Barcelona is simply on fire. Here's a fun fact. Barcelona's current start in La Liga with 6 consistent wins is their third best start in history. The 2 better ones are 7 straight wins, which was back in the 2017-2018 season under Ernesto Valverde, and the best streak so far was held back in 2013 and 2014 with 8 consistent wins under Tata Martino. So if Hansi Flick does bring in 3 more wins, which will be against Getafe, Osasuna, and Alaves, he would bring the best start to the season ever. And so this is what Hansi Flick had to say about the match, and I quote, "We will have to do things differently and adapt to the opponent. We have prepared a plan and we hope to be able to carry it out tomorrow." Now keep in mind, right, like when we speak about Getafe most likely bringing in a very dirty game. They love to tackle, they love to make unnecessary fouls, and we have to be very cautious of that because we want to protect our players. But you know, Getafe, they have no morals. They simply just don't care. Every time we face Getafe, it's basically a wrestling match. Also, keep in mind, Getafe is one of the worst teams in La Liga right now. They only have 4 points, and they have not won a single match in the league so far. The only reason why they have 4 points is because of the amount of ties they have gone through, and they have only scored 3 goals. Not 1 from open play, by the way. 2 came from set pieces, and 1 came from a penalty. So that's like really sad. I don't know what Getafe is doing right now, but they are atrocious. Like, bro, I do feel bad for Alenia, who was a Barcelona player. He has to deal with this current environment at Getafe, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to want to come in against Barcelona and just play dirty, right? Because they're so frustrated and they literally have nothing to play for. But I do hope Barcelona put the game away immediately. I want this to be a 3-4-0 win by the time the 45th minute is over, because keep in mind that we do have another league match 2 days after the match against Getafe, which will be against Osasuna on Saturday. So putting the game away very early would allow us to rotate very early and hopefully in the second half. So Hansi Flick also spoke about the current situation regarding the goalkeeper position, and this is what he said. Inaki is doing very well. He is a very professional player and has trained very hard. He's focused. Despite being a assistant goalkeeper, we do trust him. We will see what we do. We also have very young players in defense. At the moment, we do not feel under pressure and we trust Inaki Peña. Then they asked him, what type of profile are you looking when it comes to the goalkeeper position, because Szczesny is very good on the ball. And this is what Hansi Flick did say. We will look at the options we have. There is no pressure at the moment. We will speak to De La Fuente, who has been coaching world-class goalkeepers for many years. He will be the first person I speak to. We will see. Keep in mind that we are going to be talking about who Barcelona is looking at right now by the end of this video. Then the reporters did ask Hansi Flick, do you ever think about resting Lamine Yamal, because Lamine Yamal has been playing so many games? But also be very well aware that Lamine Yamal has been an undisputed starter because of how effective he has been in the final third. Hansi Flick responded, we'll see. We have all the data on the players. He does not need rest at the moment. He's fine. We'll keep an eye on him, but I don't think he needs to rest tomorrow. It's also important to get off to a good start at home with a great starting lineup. We have to keep performing like this and show our fans that it's good to look after these players in particular, everyone in general. I don't think it's a refereeing problem. He was booked for that challenge. That's fine. I think quality is not related to age. At 17, he is doing incredible things. He could be the best footballer in the future for sure. So I also don't expect for Hansi Flick to be resting Lamine Yamal at all. I believe that Lamine Yamal needs to play more games as long as he continues to be healthy. There's no reason for him to like get dropped down just because he might get fatigue in the future, because according to the data and what the trainers have to say about Lamine Yamal, he does not look fatigued at all. He can still play. And I'm pretty sure that Hansi Flick, in the way that he does train these players, he's building them to become stronger from a physical standpoint, because this is what the players were missing. It is to have stronger bodies, and Lamine Yamal has been responding to that very well. Then the reporters asked Hansi Flick, do you think that this team still needs some improvements? And he said, we watched and analyzed the game against Villarreal and we saw things that we could improve on. We're not at the end of the road yet. There's always room for improvement. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole thing, right? Is the fact that as amazing as this team is right now, Barcelona still have a lot of room to grow. Like, I would say that Barcelona right now, in the state that they are in, have the capability to compete for any title. And that's very dangerous because we don't have our A players yet, like Frankie, Gavi, Araujo, Christensen, etc. And we also do not have the sporting excellence right now. We're getting there. We're very close, but we're not there yet. I believe that Barcelona's performing playing at 65% of their potential. They're going to be so much better in about 2 to 3 months. By February, we should really see Hansi Flick's image. So speaking about resting players, they also asked, do you think that Cubarsí or Balde should be rested? And he stated, we're thinking about making rotations there. Jules Koundé, for example, he is in top form, and I'll talk to also Inigo Martinez tomorrow. So I don't expect to see Jules Koundé to also be benched at all. Like, who else is going to be playing in that position? Koundé has been in top form. He looks all right. It has also been explained that he is not fatigued at all. But when it comes to the youngsters like Cubarsí, Alejandro Balde, maybe we could see those players not play against Getafe. Maybe we could see other players within those positions. Like, for example, maybe Hector Fort, maybe Eric Garcia. And so in my opinion, I do believe that our starting 11 against Getafe is going to look something like this. Jules Koundé on the right back position, Peña in our goalkeeper position, with our two center backs being Eric Garcia and Inigo Martinez, with Gerard Martin in the left back position, who also previously just played. And then in our double pivot position, we should expect to see Casado and Pedri, with our attacking four being the infamous Lamine Yamal, Pablo Torre, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. All of these players have been performing very well. There's no reason for us to drop any of these players. They have been amazing, and for sure will deliver against Getafe. So now let's talk about Szczesny, a goalkeeper that Barcelona is looking at, and most likely will be the Ter Stegen replacement. And so this is what Tony Juan Martí had to state. Szczesny wants to join Barcelona. He understands that he might be the second choice initially, but he is convinced that he will become Barcelona's first choice goalkeeper as soon as he reaches full fitness. He also does have to resolve a few issues with Juventus. Now, first of all, right, I understand why Szczesny would become the second goalkeeper for a good moment, maybe for about 2 or 3 matches, and then eventually become the main starter, because Szczesny is retired. Like, he just announced his retirement this past summer, and probably he hasn't been doing any training, which is not a bad thing, right? Because when you are retired, you're not going to be training as hard, and he never expected to be called up by Barcelona. He never expected for Ter Stegen to get the ACL injury, which is why all of this is just coming out of nowhere. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to want to take the job because he is a goalkeeper that I believe is a leader. I don't know if you guys watched him in the World Cup of 2022, but he was amazing in that tournament. He was just amazing because of the penalties that he saved, the amount of blocks he had against Mexico. He represented Poland very well. And if you guys were wondering, he's also 3 to 4 inches taller than Ter Stegen, so he's a very tall goalkeeper, somebody who can definitely win those aerial duels in case any corners do happen against us. So it would be an amazing signing. For a 1-year contract, maybe paying him about 800,000 euros a year wouldn't be so bad. Not even €1 million. I'm pretty sure he will accept it and play with his teammate Lewandowski, where they represented Poland together. Now, if you guys were wondering what is currently going on with Juventus, why is there a settlement that has to be met? That is because, well, like, first of all, right, it says here according to Sport that Szczesny is currently Barcelona's top choice to be their new goalkeeper, and he's ready to accept the offer. And even though they have not finalized the deal yet, it's mainly because he has a clause in his contract with Juventus that requires him to pay a small fee to the club if he does join another team within a certain time frame, meaning that there was a clause in this contract that did state, for example, if you do end up becoming a free agent after us and you join a certain team within the next 3 to 4 months, you have to pay us a certain compensation. To Szczesny, he did not care at that time because he never thought that he was going to be joining Barcelona, once again, because all of this is just coming out of nowhere. So now he has to think about having to pay Juventus a certain fee. I don't know how much that is, but I'm pretty sure that Barcelona are going to have to come in to help, because if they really do want this goalkeeper, they have to give him that type of cushion and transition to make all of this happen. It has been stated that Barcelona is hopeful that this will be sorted out very soon to officially sign the goalkeeper. And if things do not work out for any reason, maybe Szczesny just says, you know, I don't want to pay a single amount to Juventus, I just do not want to do that, then Barcelona will have other backup options ready just in case. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.